So I made a video weeks ago where I applauded the state of Florida for identifying hundreds of millions of dollars of wasteful spending. I think it was like 800 something million dollars that they found. That was basically just it was overspending. It was getting these federal funds that the state of Florida didn't need. And so Governor Ron DeSantis offered to pay the Treasury back, which was unprecedented, it was unheard of. But this was coming off the back of the findings of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, and the fraud, waste, and abuse that they found. And we're talking a lot of fraud, basically money laundering and using tax dollars for political ends that nobody would agree to except for the elite that want to turn rationality and reason on its head. But Oklahoma has followed the state of Florida, and I've encouraged other states to do this. Well, the state of Oklahoma was doing this as well. They found $151 million of spending that they just don't need. This is money that, people that were looking at it, the government of Oklahoma said, okay, we don't need to spend this. Why are we getting this money? And they're talking about returning it back to the U.S. Treasury. I say good for them, and they should continue. I suspect that number is actually probably higher than that, but at least they found some of it. Every state needs to do this. Now, of course, with the corruption in a state like Illinois or in California or other states, Hawaii is a very corrupt state. Of course, they're not going to do this. This is how they pay people off. They have their slush funds. You talk about the comprehensive financial annual report where, money's going in different places, but essentially they have this big slush fund pool that they set aside that the public is not supposed to know about it. Only the government can keep separate books on the same issue. Any other business, you cannot do that. The IRS would immediately suspect fraud. The government keeps at least two books of books, accounting books, for everything that they do. So what does that tell you? And it's been said many times before, anybody who studies accounting, whoever works in government accounting or works in the private sector, if anybody would attempt to do the type of accounting in the private sector that the government does, they'd be thrown in prison. So good for the state of Oklahoma. I would like to see every state follow the lead of Florida and Oklahoma. Go through your state budget, find what is waste, fraud, and abuse, and cut your budget. Okay, that would go a long way in getting rid of the income tax. Getting rid of the government spending. Really, the government shouldn't be spending really hardly any of this unless it's police or national defense. But anyway, so good for Oklahoma.